Hello. May contains Canadian Music Week, so I've expanded it to being Canadian Music Month. And each Sunday this month, I'm going to feature a different Canadian songwriter from my little part of the service. And today, the first one, I'm going to start with probably the greatest of all Canadian songwriters, and that is Joni Mitchell. And I'm going to pick one of her early songs, and it is Chelsea Morning. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the words closely. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. So at the time she wrote this song, she was living in the Hotel Chelsea in New York. So you might picture a beautiful morning waking up to sounds, and it might be a babbling brook or some beautiful bird song. But I doubt anyone thinks, you know what would be nice? New York traffic, New York City traffic. However, it is possible, and I think that's the spiritual message of this song, it is possible to hear a melody in any sound if you have the right attitude. So what does this traffic sound like? It's a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. So it's festive, it's beautiful. So, it's brakes and honking and probably people shouting, but it's quite possible to hear it as something beautiful if we have that attitude. The second verse, woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on the wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you. Crimson, crystal, beads to beckon. So she switched from what she hears to what she sees. And again, it's quite beautiful. But if you know a little bit about Joni Mitchell, you'll know that again, it is this spiritual theme of what we make of life is more important than what we're handed. Because the rainbow is made by a work of art that she and her friends made. When she was living in Detroit, they salvaged some stained glass windows from a building that was about to be demolished, a ruin, and they made this lovely thing which hung in her window there, and perhaps still does in her home now where she lives in California. I have no idea. I'd like to think that maybe it does. One of the most interesting things about this item that dangles in the window and casts colorful lights is that the building that they salvaged the glass from was an old home for unwed mothers. And I don't know if you know this about Joni Mitchell, but when she was very young, she gave up a baby for adoption, and it's always been a painful aspect of her life, although in later years, she and her daughter reconnected, and that's a happy story for another time. But I think it reminds us that even something painful, a ruin, a relationship that didn't work out, a mistake, even things like that, you can take something from it, like she took those about to be demolished windows and made something to hang in the window that brings rainbows into the room. So again, the song is telling us, let's take what we're given, and in the way we hear it and the way we feel about it, let's be in charge of creating the beauty or recognizing the beauty. The third verse, she says, the first thing that I knew. Now this verse is about taste, but I don't think you can say in the first thing that I tasted. It's a bit weird. So the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey and a bowl of oranges too. And the sun poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. So there is, again, this sense, she's bringing back in the senses, the sunlight, and she's telling you, what's the first thing you do in the morning? I know I think about this often, is what's to eat, what's for breakfast? And it can be something just so simple as milk, bread, honey, a few oranges, and that can be a feast if you have the attitude. It doesn't take a lot. And that's what this song says. I mean, the most that she's made out of this morning, which is noisy in New York City, and she wasn't very wealthy at the time. She only had a few things, but it was enough. And it was enough to have a beautiful life. And that's a message for all of us. The song could be a little too sweet, but it's deeper than that because of a framing aspect. She's saying all these things to someone. She doesn't tell us much about this someone, but she's asking this person, pretty baby, won't you stay? Share this day with me. And I think that is another aspect of being a human being, is we can hear a melody in the noise. We can make something happy out of something sad. But we deeply, deeply, being social animals, we want to share it with someone. And in this song, we don't know what happens. So it has that air of mystery to it, and perhaps a little bit of sadness in that it's ambiguous. What's going to happen? Is she going to get to spend the day with this person? We don't know. The answer isn't in the song. So you can come up with your own answer, but I guess the message of the song is, no matter what's thrown at you, no matter what the noise and chaos, find the melody, find what's beautiful. Even if it's painful, you're in charge of making the world beautiful, making your life beautiful. And of course, finally, share it with someone. That's what really matters. So as we listen to a lovely version of this song that I found on YouTube, and you listen to the words and hear the beautiful melody and the wonderful lively rhythms, maybe think about something beautiful that you can find and share with someone else. Here it is. Woke up. It was a Chelsea morning.
Without further ado, here is my cover of Chelsea Morning by Joni Mitchell. As always, thank you for watching.